Hello guys, welcome to another session. So here we will be discussing the question and answer pattern. So there's a revision session, so I'll be giving you a question. So here is the question for you, and then we will try to answer that particular question. Okay. So see, how had the Enlightenment contributed to the emergence of sociology? So we have seen different dimensions in which they can ask you questions from the first topic, that is emergence of sociology, modernity and emergence of sociology, right? Sociology emerged in response to challenges posed before modernity, discuss, critically analyze, and all. So here, what you need to do, the structure is very clear. What is enlightenment? You discuss, and then emergence of sociology, the conditions and the correlations and the criticism, the immediate context, the age of enlightenment, and then we also need to conclude. Okay, so this is what we need to do. So guys, the structure, the flow chart, everything is given to you. Any question which is asked from the first topic, right? You talk about dark ages, and then we discuss about age of enlightenment, and you discuss about the scientific revolution, intellectual revolution, commercial revolution, and other things over there, right? And industrial revolution, and then you discuss about the concept of modernity, which is an ideological project, and its four dimension, and how modernity created that social change, and what are the micro changes, what are the macro changes. It was so much desirable at that point of time, but there are offshoots also. And then what are the problems associated with industrialization? What are the problems associated with democracy, right? So all these will be separate. What are the problems associated with the middle class? All these need to be separately discussed. And then you will talk about the context, right, which is emerged for the development of new discipline. And then you talk about the intellectual contribution, the immediate context. So this is how you will be developing the answer. And if you have not attended my course, even then, what you can do is you can YouTube itself, I have given the video, so you can watch that, or you can download the PDF and everything which is given in this video description. Check out that. And in case if you're looking for the course or mentorship or test series, again, the details are given in the description. So in this session, I'll quickly take you through the important thinkers and the points that you need to add. Okay. See, when we talk about the Enlightenment, it's often called as the age of reason, right? Age of enlightenment. It's a transformative intellectual movement during that 17th and 18th century. And during this period of time, instead of the traditional beliefs and other things, here the focus or emphasis was more of reason, evidence, empirical realities, and belief in progress. Right? In fact, if you look at it, it sought to place human beings at the center of understanding the universe and society. So this period, if you see, significantly contributed to the emergence of sociology by providing its foundational principles, right? So all these, what we have discussed in that session. So if you look at this particular question, modernity and emergence of sociology, here also you're addressing the same thing. Or if you look at this question, sociology emerged in response to challenges posed before modernity. Discuss. Again, you are answering the same things only, right? So when we talk about modernity, again, you discuss that in economic dimension, economic modernity, political modernity, in terms of democracy and other things, intellectual modernity, right? Social modernity. So all these dimensions need to be discussed over there. So let me give you an idea about what is enlightenment. See, when we talk about enlightenment, again, you can talk about here in terms of intellectual revolution, in terms of scientific revolution, in terms of commercial revolution, industrial revolution. All these can be brought together, and then you can say European society have witnessed a drastic transformation during the period of 16th, 17th, 18th century, and that period is known as Age of Enlightenment. Before that, you can mention about dark ages also. European society was characterized by agricultural feudal estate system, where the kings are engaged in wars, unmindful of the plight of the people, and all those things which I have given again. So when we talk about, again, enlightenment, those things which I have not mentioned in that PDF, or what I need to add more, is what I'll be discussing here. Talk about comprehension and control. That the belief that humans can understand and influence the universe through reason and empirical research. Right? And here you talk about Immanuel Kant. He defined enlightenment as man's emergence from his self-imposed immaturity. So here, emphasizing the rational thinking. So that's where we are talking about that intellectual revolution, rational thinking. Everything is based on evidence and reason. And then universal social laws. So the belief that societal phenomena are governed by universal principles. So here you can talk about, Descartes, right? So here he's talking about, I think, therefore I am. In fact, highlighted individual reasoning as the core of understanding the existence. Progressive ideals, the idea that society can be improved through science and rational inquiry. So if you look at the initial sociologists also, what they wanted to do, they wanted to make it similar to natural science. Like even Auguste Comte was thinking of social physics also, right? So guys, again, when we come back to this topic actually, which is emergence of sociology, you can say sociology emerged as a distinct discipline during 19th century. It was heavily influenced by Enlightenment. Talk about the modernity, talk about the impact of modernity, the micro macro changes which created the immediate context. There are several political, social, intellectual factors which are contributed. So that you need to discuss. If you look at the political aspect, talk about French Revolution that disrupted the traditional societal structure, raising questions about the social order, authority, and change. And then democracy came into existence, which was a, societies like England, it was gradual, but here it was immediate, right? Immediately after the revolution. So there are uncertainties about its success and all were there in the minds of people. You can talk about Auguste Comte sought to understand the restoration of social order post this revolution, right? If you want, you can mention about Émile Durkheim also. He analyzed the need for collective conscience in maintaining societal stability. So that's something which you can indirectly connect here, right? So when we talk about the Enlightenment aspect or the thinkers aspect, then industrial revolution and rise of capitalism. Here you can talk about Marx. If you want, you can talk about Max Weber's perspective also. Though, or you can talk about the emergence of middle class and how they created the social divide and everything. So the rapid industrialization, capitalism, that led to the class divisions, urbanization, social problems, new types of jobs, new types of crimes. Slums have emerged, migration was there, nuclear families have emerged, middle class have emerged. Right, Marx examined the class struggle and capitalist exploitation. Durkheim studied the division of labor and its impact on social solidarity. Max Weber analyzed the rationalization of economic and social life. So these are things which you can indirectly add in case if you have space, because these are contributions of the thinkers. Then you talk about rise of socialism. The socialist ideas emerged in response to the inequalities of capitalism. Marx advocated for socialism as a solution to exploitation. Weber and Durkheim criticized socialism, focusing instead of institutional reforms. Guys, I told you in the beginning itself, the answer for this question is already given in the YouTube itself. So here I'm trying to address the other things, other perspectives which can be added, which can, in fact, add more points to you, or it can open your mind also in these dimensions. Again, you can talk about urbanization, which brought about new social dynamics, increasing anonymity and weakening traditional ties. The Chicago School explored urbanization's impact on democracy and social cohesion. Religious changes. The Enlightenment ideals questioned the religious authority, and that led to secularization. The new concepts have emerged, new thoughts have emerged. And early sociologists like Weber, Durkheim studied role of religion in social cohesion and social change. Protestant ethic and spirit of capitalism, Weber. Durkheim, again, if you look at that theory, how religion integrate people, right? So again, feminism and liberation movements, women movement in Europe and US challenge the traditional gender roles. These are things which you can write everywhere. So feminist thinkers, if you look at it, they emphasize the need for sociological analysis of gender inequality. Then comes specific to Enlightenment's intellectual contribution to sociology. Talk about Irving Zetlin, the rationalism and empiricism. If you see, early sociology developed as a reaction to Enlightenment ideals, emphasizing empirical inquiry and rational explanation, directly connected with the question, right? Irving Zetlin. And then philosophy's influence, we can discuss Hobbes, Locke, Montesquieu. Hobbes, if you see social contract theory, highlighted the role of society in maintaining order. John Locke advocated for individual rights, laying the groundwork for later sociological theories. Montesquieu studied the impact of political system on societal structures. Now, coming to natural science influence, where directly we know Auguste Comte, Saint Simon, Herbert Spencer. In fact, this was actually inspired the early sociologists to adopt that scientific approach. In fact, similar to natural science. Saint Simon even dreamt or thought of social physics, which is analogous to natural science physics. But later, Auguste Comte, in fact, proposed as a positive science similar to natural science. And he's the father of sociology. And Herbert Spencer, if you see, applied the Darwin's theory of evolution to understand society and developing the concept of social Darwinism. So see the role of natural science, the impact. Then political philosophy, here you can talk about thinkers like Rousseau and Voltaire, influenced ideas about liberty, equality, and democracy, which, in fact, if you look at earlier sociologists, explored in their analysis, and you can see a lot of emphasis on that. And methodological advances, if you see again, development of methods over a period of time. So this is where, if you remember in the PDF which I've given to you, intellectual contribution, I've discussed in depth of this. New methods like survey method, interviews, in fact, help the sociology to establish itself as a scientific discipline in the beginning itself. Right, then again, criticism. We talk about role of anti-enlightenment. See, the enlightenment laid the foundation. The anti-enlightenment reaction also played a significant role in the emergence of sociology. This is what most of you will be missing in your paper or the notes or your answer. So, conservative reaction to enlightenment we can discuss here. The romantic conservation, right? Thinkers like Louis de Bernard, Joseph de Maistre, in fact, opposed enlightenment ideals, emphasizing tradition, community, and religion. Right. So there is a question of tradition versus modernity in sociology and society over individual. Again, this anti-enlightenment thinkers stress the importance of society as sui generis entity, countering the enlightenment's individualistic focus. We can talk about Durkheim also. Society, social facts are sui generis, comes into existence and so on, giving importance to society over individual. So that's what completely influenced by Durkheim concept of the collective conscience, the conscience collective. Emphasize on social order. The reactionaries, they highlighted the disorganizing effects of industrialization and urbanization and advocated for return to a stable hierarchical structures. Then there are criticisms of rationalism, like again anti-enlightenment thinkers. They emphasize the role of emotion, tradition, and non-rational elements like which are there in the social life. So if you look at this, what are the immediate context of sociology's emergence? You see, sociology emerged during a period of rapid societal transformation marked by the political revolution, industrialization, urbanization, and the problems which are associated with it. There are micro, macro changes. The modernity concept, which was considered something which is desirable at that point of time, but the offshoots, it came to be associated with a large number of social problems. Talk about the problems which is created by industrialization. Middle class created a divide, social divide, which was never witnessed earlier. French Revolution, immediately the society was in total chaos because what's the future of this? Nobody know. Nobody have witnessed democracy, right? So there you talk about thinkers, contribution, Auguste Comte, Saint Simon and other things and conclude your answer. So guys, what I need to conclude is the Enlightenment contributed to the emergence of sociology. They emphasized on reason, they emphasized on empirical inquiry and the potential for social progress. But the anti-Enlightenment reaction, that also played a crucial role by highlighting the other side, the importance of social structure, the tradition, and the collective consciousness. So you can say sociology emerged as a synthesis of these intellectual currents, right? Striving to scientifically analyze and address the complexities of modern society. And here you can quote the statement, according to T.B. Baltimore, he observed sociology is shaped by diverse intellectual streams, including political philosophy, biological theories, reform movements. So together, if you see, these influences made sociology a unique discipline that bridge the science and society. So T.B. Baltimore is something which you can put towards the end. He observed that sociology is shaped by diverse intellectual streams, including political philosophy, biological theories, and the reform movements. So guys, that's about this session. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you got some value from this session. So if you like the video, share it with your friends also. And in case if you're looking for any test series or mentorship or the class for sociology course, you can check out the details in the description. So see you guys in the next video.